Hello, we have started
Hi.
podcast. How have you been?
I'm,
Lie.
I've been wonderful. Everything's great. Oh man, the sun is shining. Yeah, I'm good, man.
That's good. That's good. What what did you do in the past 8 weeks and 5 years?
It's been 2, hasn't it?
Yeah,
It feels like it's
technically.
been longer, but I think it's only been about
I
two
think it's only
weeks.
been two. Yeah, because like I was like, when was the last time I streamed? I'm like, it's kind of been like 2 weeks, but
Um, I've actually it might not seem like a lot, but I feel like I've done a lot since then.
hmm
Um, Let me find these movie titles that I'll just rattle off real quick.
movies. You watched movies?
Yeah, I went after our last podcast, I got off, and then like for 3 or 4 days, I just ended up watching movies, pretty much not straight through, but like you know what I mean. Like when I had downtime, I just sat there and watched movies. Are these my notes? These are. All right, so the Book of Eli,
Oh,
which I really enjoyed story wise, but holy shit, was that thing just shot in a desert the entire time.
yeah.
There was no like real connection to anything that they were walking past or doing near.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot like just open area that they were like, "Oh no, we gotta fight someone,"
Isn't that like a
Um,
religious movie technically?
yes,
Okay.
it's all about getting the Bible to a safe haven because it's the last Bible. But
Uh,
again, it's still a good movie. Like the
uh,
fighting was
like there
cool.
was a budget there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right. Um, I think a second one would be good if they had like a really good budget.
The Book of Eli 2,
I,
Eli's Wrath.
oh, that'd
Uh,
be I like that actually. Just name it Eli's Wrath. That's
Eli's
great.
Wrath. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, don't
Um,
listen to me, Hollywood. Actually, listen to me, Hollywood. Give me all the money.
that'd be cool as shit. I watched Gravity.
That's
Uh huh.
that's still one of my movies on my bucket list.
Okay. It's okay. It's not really good though.
I mean, I still want to watch it, bruh. But yeah,
I would. Yeah, it's on HBO, man.
okay.
Um, Come and Find Me.
Come and Find Me. Why does that sound familiar?
Man, I can't remember what happened in this. Give me a second. Because I gotta see the front page or like the cover to remember it.
Come and Find Me.
Oh, right. Okay. So Come and Find Me was Aaron Paul and um I don't know the girl's name, but Aaron Paul is dating this girl for a while. They move into this house. He comes home one night. They're both getting ready to go to bed, and he's actually sitting in the other room. And she said, "No, come with me now. Like, come to bed now. I don't want you to wait. I want to see you like tonight, basically." And
She literally told him come.
it ends up being their last night, and she goes missing, and all this weird shit happens. Aaron Paul basically goes and finds her. Right, come and find me. So, um, it was really really good until they decided to show what happened and the ending, and I was like, oh, okay. Like it was cool, and then you guys kind of just fucked it,
Oh,
so whatever.
disappointing.
uh Again, like
That's
I think it was a good little like film, start to middle, then end was again, yeah. So
yeah.
uh oh, this was cool. Let's Be Cops.
Oh, that's that comedy movie with like those two guys on Halloween, right? They dress up as cops.
Yeah, they dress up as cops on Halloween, and then people think they're serious, and then they pretend to be cops for. I had seen this before, I just don't remember it, so I rewatched it, and as I was watching it, I was like
Oh, I've seen this.
remembering little
Yeah.
pieces here and there. Yeah, uh, good movie. Again, ending could have been better. Like, it was also like it's really generic, like that type of movie where like it's simple, simple concept. It's gonna be the same as a bunch of other stuff that has been done already.
Yeah.
There's gonna be no new surprises, no twists and turns, all that stuff. And then the last thing I watched was Into the Forest.
Mm, I don't think I know that.
That's I don't know the girls' names, but it's these two daughters that are living with their dad, and the entire United States loses power, I believe. You never see any other part of the United States except where they live. So there's like rumors in the show or the movie when like it's like there might be power. People got their power back on the East Coast or West Coast or Mid East or whatever, Middle East and the Mid East or Midwest. Jesus Christ, why? Why am I stupid? Or they're like the Midwest or something, and they're like, maybe we should go and check it out. Um, anyways, so I'm gonna explain like some of the movie if you don't care, do you?
Hmm.
Okay, so they um they are living fine for a little bit while this is all happening. They also have a generator, but they can't use a generator because they're worried about gas being scarce. And I want to say like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, the dad dies. He's trying to cut down a tree, which I guess like they need firewood or something, right? And and he ends up killing himself by accident because he had taken apart the chainsaw and like went to put it back together, and then like it wasn't put together properly, so like the chain came off or something came off and like cut him, right? So anyways, he dies, and then the two sisters have to grieve. They have to live through that, and then it goes like from like 2 weeks to 6 months to a year and a half to 3 years of them like living through this. And like again, like maybe I'm getting the timeline wrong. Maybe it's like less time, more time. But there's like a bunch of like negative things that happen to them,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually one of the sisters who has like kind of a boyfriend, not really, like a guy she knows that she's been like kissing on and all this other stuff. She's like, he comes by and he's like, I wanted to see if you're okay. Like I haven't seen you in so long. I didn't know if you'd be okay. This is maybe 6, 8 months into it or something, maybe a year. And he's like, how you guys doing? He's like, my dad died, and then he's like, well, I heard there's power back in the east. Like, let's go, you know.
Yeah.
And the other sister's like, no, absolutely not. We're not leaving. And then the sister that has that guy as a friend is like, well, I'm gonna go. So they end up splitting up, and the sister goes, and like literally it took like 8 hours for her to be like, no, I don't. I'm gonna go home. Never mind. I'm going back to my sister, and that happens. And then there's a bunch of other stuff that happens. Like
Would you recommend it?
it's hard because like it was fun watching it, but again, like I feel like the ending was so anticlimactic and like so they never leave the house.
They just stay there.
Yeah, and like I think it would have been way more interesting to see like I don't know.
Ye-
It's almost like they make them weak, and it's like you
Mm.
don't have to have this like weak female roles for like, and they survive. I get it and everything, and like some again like negative shit happens to them, but it's like I would have way more had fun with them like going and searching for like a better way, especially because like I'm not gonna live in that fucking house for 2 years, bro. They have no food after a while. They have shortage of water, which they can still get because of rain, but like there's so many things like they just they're not they were prepared kind of because like their dad taught them like because they lived in the woods and shit, but like they really needed like to go start doing something to like really survive better
Yeah.
if they're gonna stay in that place. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like it was a good movie, but I don't think it was like great.
Recommendable.
I don't think
Okay.
any of these were really top
Okay.
notch.
Okay. Yeah, Into the Forest actually I'm kind of interested in it hearing from your summary.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff I left out because, like, of course, like I don't want to get super into the movie, but like, I definitely like just wanted to like try to explain more of like the situation of like why I didn't really like think it was such a great movie. Which I mean, a lot of things on streaming services tend to be like
hit or
mediocre.
misses. Yeah, hit or misses.
The other thing I wanted to say was I missed the last 2 episodes of The Last of Us, but I'm really excited to watch those. And the Wu-Tang Clan is back, and I have 6 episodes to go watch that I didn't know was already there. They have been churning, like, that shit is out, bro. I'm so excited. You don't understand. Season 2 was like, I was like, yo, this shit's fucking wild. And then I can't remember if that was like when the pandemic hit, but like it's been, I think, 2 years since I've had another season of this, and I'm like so excited.
You're like, these guys just made music. Their lives were so wild.
Well, they were like they made music, but like there was
their life
a bunch of like
was harsh,
adversities that they had to go through, and like fucking violence and shit. And I mean, like, I know it's a lot of it's exaggerated, so like that's fair, but like you fall in love with the characters of, like, you know,
Method Man, old dirty bastard.
Yeah, and like I know like there's people that are like will watch the show and be like, nah man, like I grew up knowing this, and like this is they're not as like, you know, hard or gangsters as they are, and like when they were out back then. But it's like, but it's still like a good
series
tale. Like it's a good story to have going on. But anyways, other than that, I watched the Super Bowl. I got mad at the Super Bowl.
Did you Super Bowl?
Was fucking lost.
Oh yeah, that's right. You like the Eagles.
Yeah, so
I did not watch any of the Super Bowl. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing in the Super Bowl. Oh, I think I fell asleep. I think I was just home and I just knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, it was
Did you super and bowl?
Huh?
Did you super and bowl?
Yeah. Ate wings. I watched it. Hung out with my mom. It was cool.
That's good. That's good. I think my cousin invited me to like a Super Bowl like little thing she was having at her house, but I was knocked out at that point.
Yeah. And as far as game wise, I am fully prepared for the 28th when Lightfall drops for Destiny 2.
Oh yeah, that's when it falls.
You're like, great.
Destiny.
Fantastic.
Pew pew.
I played a bunch of League of Legends. I'm doing pretty great in that, you know, because I'm so fucking good at video games. Oh, there's a bunch of games that came out though for PlayStation
Premium.
Yeah. Well, extra, but yeah.
Extra premium, deluxe, with cheese.
With cheese.
Yeah, I just saw like there was like a little list that came out today for like a couple PlayStation games from what I saw. But games you can actually buy, which is wild. Like I think Legend of Dragoon is one of them, which I have on the PS3, but I never booted it up.
Oh yeah, that's like premium though. Like for extras, cause I don't know. I know people want to play PlayStation 1 and shit, but like
you hate the PlayStation 1?
It's a little hard to play those games nowadays for me.
I haven't gone back and the last PlayStation 1 game I played, I want to say was I think it might have been Metal Gear Solid. And no, that's a lie. Soul Calibur.
They added Tekken 7.
That's right. It's a good one. I like Tekken. Anything else?
That's right.
Did you play anything else?
Man, it's so hard to remember these things. I never write shit down. I wrote the movies down, which was great.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I played NFL 2022. That's pretty shit. I returned it.
Okay.
And I bought a Riot Points card instead.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it sucks too, because like when I went to GameStop, I was like, returning this thing, and they're like, all right, and they're like, what do you want to get? And I was like, I don't know. I looked at the wall games, dude, and
There's nothing. Yeah.
There's what 150 games on that fucking wall.
Yeah.
I looked at my brother and I was like, "The fuck!" Like, there's literally nothing to play. Like, I know there's shit to play, but like, none of it is interesting. It's all rehashed bullshit.
First world problems.
No, like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could be like somewhere else and like worry about rice or something, but like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
how come they can't make good games in this fucking country?
Why can't I play video games?
Yeah, and then I bought.
That reminds me. Have you played the video games that I bought you? Yeah, that's right. You're laughing because
No.
yeah, exactly.
I don't touch my computer that often, man.
You son of a bitch, and touch it now. You're touching it right now. There you go. See, you touched it.
I bought the Riot Games card, and the guy behind the counter was like,
League?
having a full-on fucking conversation with me about League, where he was like, "Oh, you play League?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he like was like, "Yeah, it's such a good game." And I was like, "I don't know, man. It seems like it might die in 2 years." And he looked at me, he was like, "It's never gonna die." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay. You should have said, "Are you excited for the League fighting game?" And he's like, "I don't play shit games." And you're like, "Okay."
Are you excited for the League fighting game?
I'm actually kind of excited for the League fighting game.
Yeah. So they also put out a video for. Man, I'm bad at remembering things. For a League of Legends video game that's coming out called Mage Seeker, I believe.
What is it called?
Yes, it's called Mage Seeker, and it's gonna follow Silas, a character from League of Legends, obviously.
Obviously.
He has chains on his wrist that he can swing around.
I think we saw this like on some kind of direct or Sony thing, something like that.
Well, they just dropped a teaser trailer.
Oh, okay. Is he still wearing the chains?
Yes, it looks terrible. The trailer looks really bad, but I think that's because it's like ultra pre-alpha, you know?
Ultra super beta pre-alpha. Okay.
Well, I doubt we're gonna see this game for maybe
Delta.
2 years.
Yeah.
Probably see it in 2025.
Probably. I don't even know when the fucking League fighting game is supposed to come out. Still like in development.
Yeah, but that looks really polished already.
Yeah, so far. I mean, some of the animations they added like a character. I know they had like a little character thing. Who was that buff chick? I don't remember. Okay, there you go. Buff chick.
And the last thing that I'm very excited for is Diablo 4's beta is like March 14th.
Oh yeah, I think I signed up for that beta. Wait, it's the open beta, right? Or is it still closed?
There's one that's closed, I believe, and then one that's open.
Okay, because I remember I signed up for one of them, but I think it was probably the closed one.
Of course, like I'm a little nervous because it could be bad, but overall, like I'm excited to get my hands on some more Diablo.
Yeah. I mean, Diablo's good. Unfortunately, Blizzard, well, Activision specifically, kind of sucks. But
I'm talking about my favorite company.
Okay, because that's something that happened.
Riot Games is my favorite company.
That's one of the things that happened in the news that I didn't put down because I'm too lazy.
What happened?
There was something that happened in the news with Activision that, like, again, people are going on strike. Basically. Oh, okay, that's what it was. Activision Blizzard is forcing workers to go back to office. So, and like people and a lot of employees are like, no, fuck you. So, yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to mention. But anyways, continue.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it for your week.
Yeah, if TLDR, I love League of Legends.
Yeah, I know. What did I do? I didn't really do anything. I was working for pretty much the whole week. The one thing that I would say it has been like the highlight of like the 2 weeks is I got a new TV. I got the TV of my dreams. It is the LG C2. Um, and for those that don't know,
Yeah.
for those that don't know, I got the package in on a Monday, and I was really happy that I got it. And it's a 65 inch. My room is pretty small, but like I was trying to like get it, you know, in my room and ready to go, and I was like, okay, cool. So I get it on my TV stand, and I turn it on, and I'm like, oh man, it looks nice, this and that. So I'm like, oh wait, but I gotta push my TV stand a little bit further back. So I'm trying to push it further back, and the fucking like leg on this thing fucking snaps. But luckily the TV was still in my arms, so I just put the TV on my bed. My dumbass was like, it'll be fine standing up. Turn around, within like a second, the thing falls over and hits the side of the footboard, which is like elevated up. And I put a picture on my Twitter, and like it is a circle of a crack. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I haven't even used it, hadn't even been like a full hour since I got the thing. So basically I had to go through a whole thing of like going through customer service with Amazon. They were pretty cool with it. They were like, yeah, like you could just send it back. And I was like, all right, cool. Then there was a whole thing with UPS that I mentioned on the Discord where they were supposed to come pick it up, but the person that came from UPS just left the slip like in my door. And I've been at my door the whole day, but I think it was during the time where I just decided to go to the bathroom where they just showed up. Just not even knock on my door or ring the doorbell. Just slip in the door and left. So I had to call UPS, the one that was closest by me, and basically tell them, hey, the driver just passed by, and I don't know if it was bad timing on my part, but I was in the bathroom for like maybe like a couple minutes, and I didn't hear a knock or doorbell or nothing, and they just left a slip. So they were like, okay, we'll ask one of the drivers around the area to come pick up the package. So luckily, there was a driver near the area, came to pick up the package, and I was set. And the cool thing was that literally the next day was when the new TV was coming in. So I was like, all right, cool. The only issue was that I was working, so I had to call a buddy of mine to come to my house and basically like bring the TV into my backyard so that nobody was gonna take my TV. Yeah, so far I've been playing this with this TV. I've been like watching well, I only watched like one 4K movie, but yeah, I've been playing with my PS5 on it and like checking out the HDR shit. I realize I've been missing out. I've been truly missing out on 4K and HDR on fucking monitors. I cannot believe it. Like obviously the biggest appeal of this thing being an OLED screen, like the blacks are black. Like it is true black. And I'm like, oh, that's wild. And I just love this thing. This thing is fucking great. So it's like right behind me. You can't see because everything's blurred, but that was also the other thing of my week last week was that I basically had to rearrange my whole room in order for this TV to be in a good spot. Because I realized that my desk, I basically like flipped my desk a little bit and I put like my shelving shit like right behind me.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically I had to do a whole workaround in my room to get this thing to fit in. And yeah, I've just been playing around with it. I've been God, what have I been watching? Well, the first 4K movie that I watched in this thing was Everything Everywhere All at Once because I forgot I bought the physical version of this thing. So I put in the 4K disc into this thing, and man, I love that movie, and it looks so good in 4K. Yeah, I still recommend that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. But as for movies, I haven't been watching movies, but I have been watching anime. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I don't remember if I mentioned this in the last podcast. I don't remember. I feel like it's been a while, but I watched a movie called Prisoners like a while. I think I did mention this. Hugh
I
Jackman
think
and
the
Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I think that was the last thing.
huge Jack man.
Huge Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Um, so the thing I basically binged, and it was such a stupid thing to binge. But the show is great. So I've been watching. I've been trying to get back into anime, and the thing that I decided to watch was this anime that's on Amazon Prime currently, just the first season, called Made in Abyss. MADE
Yeah.
space IN space Abyss. I think I found my new favorite thing. It is a fantastic show. It is incredible on how good the world building is. And okay, basically this is my pitch to anybody who is interested in this show. Did you ever watch the movie Annihilation with Natalie Portman?
No.
Yeah or no?
No.
Okay, so do you know the premise of Annihilation? I'm assuming no.
Nope.
Okay. So the premise of Annihilation is Natalie Portman and a bunch of other women scientists, basically in their world a bubble just appeared, and within this bubble is like a biome, and they go into the bubble to research like what's in it, and once they like step through, they basically start to see that everything is changing, like genetic code, and like things are just shifting essentially, and things are just getting weird in the environment. Like animals are like becoming different types of animals. I think the biggest thing from Annihilation is like the skull bear. Like that was one of the biggest things from that movie. But like the further you go into, like when you try to reach the center of this biome, it like gets weirder and weirder. So that is my pitch of this show, Made in Abyss, is that it's essentially Annihilation, but with a much wholesomer art style, but still has really, really fucked up moments. But instead of a bubble, they're going down a hole, because essentially this world, there's a city that lives like around a radius of a giant hole, and these explorers go deep into the hole to see what lies further beyond. The really, really neat thing about like this show is obviously, like I said, the world building. And they explained that like once you go into the hole, the further you go down, there's essentially no way back. Like you have to commit to this. And like if you the only way you can't like escape is because there's a thing that goes on in that, like in the hole, where if you try to go at a different elevation too fast, you're essentially hit in what that world calls it is a curse, where like either it can be like something bodily or something mentally, and something that affects you as a person. Because there's a perfect example of this where I think if you go to like one of the layers of this hole, because that's how this hole is built, is that like there's different layers, but they're essentially different like biomes. They're different environments. And depending on which layer you're in, you get a different sickness, you get a different curse. So one of them is like essentially if you go too fast, you become a blob. Because it just like that's the curse that just happens, is that like you just become a fleshoid blob, and it's just like, yeah, that's what happens.
This is a Natalie Portman movie, right? You said
Annihilation. No, this is Made in Abyss. I'm talking about the anime.
Oh shit, I'm sorry, I fucking
Yeah, you don't listen, but anyways,
oh my god, I think I just zoned out for a second. That's my bad, dude.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it's all right, man. I know I'm trying to talk about my animes, but no, but like essentially the like that's my pitch of this show, is that it's essentially like that Natalie Portman movie, but instead of a giant bubble, it's a hole.
Okay.
So if the curses of that world doesn't kill you, there are animals and creatures in like the further you go that are like fucked up and evil and like just like you don't want to be anywhere near them. Like there's one perfect example of like this bird. It doesn't look like a bird, but it's supposed to be a bird in one of, I think like in the third level of the hole. And this thing is creepy because I think they call it like a corpse eater. And like your introduction to it is this thing is eating a corpse, and it's also like calling out for help because it like that's its way of like getting its next host. Is that like it tricks them essentially to like go help the voice that says come help. Like it's like weird. There's like this show does like a really interesting balancing act with its art style, because if you look at this thing, it is very cutesy. It is so cutesy and it's wild. But then you get like the weird fucked up shit like midway of the show. Especially like the second season. But before I kind of like I said, the world itself is super interesting, and the story revolves around this young girl named Rico and this little robot boy by the name of Reg. And essentially Reg is an amnesiac. He doesn't know where he came from. He only has like little like sparses of his memory. And Rico wants to go find her mom, who is an explorer that went to like almost the bottom layer of this hole. And she believes that her mom is still alive. So that's also the other thing, is that like these explorers have like different like ranks. So Rico's mom is like the highest rank of explorers. So she believes that like, you know, nothing could like kill her mom essentially. So she's willing to take that bet and like go all the way down. So Reg is like, well, maybe if I go down with you, maybe I might find out who I am and like figure out all this stuff. So essentially it's a bond, it's a journey between these two characters going down the hole to reach a destination that they have no idea whether or not they're going to reach. And yeah, it's oh my god. So they get introduced to a new character by the name of Nanachi, who is what they call in this world a hollow, which is like a little humanoid weird homunculus thing. And this was in like episode 12 and 13. It is episode 13 made me cry because Nanachi's backstory is so fucking tragic and it hurt. It's like it's a lot of like the fucked up tragic shit really pushes you and like really punches you down sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic show. I really recommend watching that first season and seeing if like you're interested in it.
Did you watch it on a streaming service?
Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Amazon Prime only has the first season. I had to watch. So the problem becomes on where the show continues, because there's supposed to be a new season, like I believe later this year. But basically to get everything all together, if you're like still interested after the first season, there is a movie that you have to watch afterwards that basically is super, super important because it leads into the second season. Okay. So watch the movie afterwards. I believe it's called Dawn of a Blessed Soul, something like that of that sort. It's super, super important to the second season. And then the second season introduces a whole new biome and a whole new world, essentially, and like a whole new layer, I should say, of the whole. And you know, it kind of goes from there. And so I'm very excited for the third season. It's such a good fucking show, and I'm surprised. Well, I would assume that like it has its fans, but yeah, man, it's really fucking good. I really needed something that like just like is so interesting world wise, but also has a very good story. And like it also, like the second season in particular, plays on your morals as a human being, because there's a very specific thing that happens where it's like either kill or be killed, essentially. And you try to look at it from two different perspectives of like one person saying that like we got to do this because if we don't, our group is going to die. And then another person's like, what you're doing is horrible and it's affecting a single person that can't do anything to fight back or make a decision. And it like plays with that moral like compass of just like nobody is right in the situation, essentially. Well, maybe one side is a little bit more right, to be honest. So yeah, Made in Abyss. Really recommend that first season. Go watch it. But yeah, and I don't really think I watched. Oh, I started watching The Last of Us with my cousin. I only got to episode 3, The Gaze.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
I guess this I guess this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler for The Last of Us TV show. I guess
Everyone's seen it.
I guess up to episode 3 specifically, because I haven't seen episode 4 or 5 or the latest one, 6. I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Right?
It's actually pretty fucking good. I mean, I
really enjoy it.
I already like Pedro Pascal, but I think the writing in the show is actually much better. And what I appreciate, what I was telling my cousin was, because my cousin only has like a little bit of an idea of the game, because me and her used to play like video games together. And excuse me, I should have probably brought a water bottle. She has somewhat of an idea of The Last of Us, of like of its story. Because obviously she remembers like the intro sequence when like it's a younger Joel and his daughter Sarah. She remembers that, but she doesn't know anything about like what happens in the rest of the series itself. But I was telling her like I appreciate the fact that the show actually has like flash like backs to like the beginning of the virus, where like the biggest one was a flashback to a scientist in Indonesia, because that's where the outbreak started, in like Jakarta. And it's essentially her like observing like the cadavers and stuff like that that have the fungus in them, and basically the military asking her like, what do we do? And she's like, nothing. Like, you're gonna have to fucking bomb Indonesia. Like, that's the only thing you can do.
Jesus.
Like that was like, I forget, like in episode 2 or 3. But I like that whole thing. Oh no, I think it was episode 2. But I do like that thing where it's like the beginning of the outbreak, but in different parts of the world or different parts of America, because like that was the one thing that we didn't really get from the game itself, was that like other people's experiences besides Joel and Ellie when it came to the virus, or either way, like once we got into the middle of the game, it's just Joel and Ellie. And yeah, it's just like, I like how the show is shot. The writing is also really good because it's also part of the game, but also it takes some what is it called? Some ideas, I guess. It goes a little liberal with like some of its writing, like trying to write something a little bit more different, obviously. I thought it was interesting at the fact they actually changed the virus a little bit, because I was seeing that apparently spores are not a thing in this world. That now the virus, like instead of spores, the infected are now connected through like the ground, through roots.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird, but I think it's all right. I think it's an okay change. I would think the spores would be kind of a better inclusion. Because it just adds a little bit more like tenseness when you're in like a closed area and there's like a bunch of spores coming out. But oh well. And I think the biggest thing, I think I have to say I appreciate what they did, was episode 3. when they talk about Bill and Frank. I prefer this version of Bill and Frank, to be honest. Because what happens to Frank at like once you leave his town? Or not Frank, to Bill.
Who's Bill? The brother?
No, that's Tommy.
Who's Bill?
Bill is in the game you go to the town.
Bro, it has been forever.
Okay, so either way, what I remember from that is essentially you leave Bill's town and that's basically it. And even then in the game there's a little moment where like Joel finds the body of Frank and he's just like I think he talks to Bill and he's like, who the hell is this guy? And Bill's like, that's Frank. And he's like, who the hell is Frank? Should I know him or anything? And Bill was like, he was my partner. And then that was it. And then in the show they make Bill and Frank a couple and you're just with them the entire time. And then they do the surprising thing of like Bill is already gone. So is Frank by the time Joel and Ellie get to his town. And I feel like that is a much better thing to do, to be honest, because it's just like, I think afterwards there's like really nothing that happens to Bill, and then you just leave his town and that's it. As far as I remember, because I actually want to replay The Last of Us now at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Nick Offerman's just really good as Bill, and I do like the fact that they're like an old bickering couple. And it's just I really enjoyed it. And you know, the whole thing of like people talking about like, oh, they're just doing it to appeal to the woke crowd, and it's like, no, like they're a couple. Like
it was genuinely a good part of the story.
Yes, like that's what I really enjoyed, was that like you're focused on these two specifically, not just Ellie and Joel, and like to see their trials and tribulations where it's like they're trying to survive in this world, but they're living in a secured area of the world. It's
good cinema.
It is yeah, it's just good writing as well.
Like, do you really want to follow Joe and Ellie to a T the same way that you already fucking played it?
Exactly.
No, why would you want to?
Even in that standpoint, it's like it's an adaptation. And that's the thing, is that like I feel like this show also does its adaptation pretty well, and it does it justice because it's exploring different parts and different characters. And it's funny because I'm coming off from a Netflix adaptation of an anime, which it strays away from its source material, but it's trying to do something different, but it doesn't really work because the writing is not there for it. While with this, it's like it's doing different things, but the writing works. Like it is such an interesting contrast to like be like, oh, this is an adaptation that works and this is an adaptation that really fumbled and failed. Sorry, Cowboy Bebop live action. And yeah, I'm like looking forward to like watching the next episode and the episode after that. Like it is genuinely really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even then, like the little changes to like the beginning sequence of the show compared to the game, where like it still has elements from the game, but then like you know, you get kind of the perspective of Joel's daughter Sarah, where she goes to her neighbor's house and like the old lady's infected, and you know, she just stumbles into like the old lady chasing after her and shit, and it's just like, oh, this is very different compared to how it was where it's just Sarah waking up.
And sorry.
No,
I mean, like, you know, the upsetness people have with other things, like the third episode, you know, think about if they didn't even show you that whole opening part where all that happened, and they just instead, like, you jumped right into Joe and Ellie, and they did it by flashbacks. You know, people would be so fucking annoyed, you know? And it's like, you know, just take the W's, man. Like, they're doing good.
They're doing good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that I appreciate the flashbacks. Like, this is honestly the time where I actually appreciate the flashbacks in a in some kind of media, because it shows how Bill got his town. Like, and that was the thing in the game, is just like, this dude just has a town and that's it. But like it shows in episode 3 that like pretty much everybody in his town got picked up by the military, and he is a weird, crazy, like doomsday prepper, and he just was like ready to go. He was like, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna like get, like, and it shows the whole little montage of him going to like Home Depot and getting like different supplies and shit. And I'm like, I like this, I really, really do. And then his introduction to Frank, and then yeah, and it just goes from there. Yeah, no, because like I don't really watch like Nick Offerman in anything else. Like I've never really seen him in anything. But I do like the fact that he plays a character which it's still, I would assume what people still assume what Nick Offerman plays, because I've only seen clips of Parks and Rec, but being more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And like even like at the beginning he's like very cold and very distant, but then you have to come to an understanding as well where he hasn't interacted with another person in years. So it's like, that's why he has to be cautious. And then he finally opens up, and it's like writing 101 essentially. It's just like, but it's done well.
Yeah.
So I really, like I said, I really, really like it. I really do. And it's just that whole thing towards the end of that episode where Bill and Frank have their final moments, and it's just like,
I know, it made me so sad.
It makes you sad, but it's like, I feel like that's a better ending to Bill. From what I remember, it was just like, okay, bye, Bill.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I think that's what I'm kind of glad for, is that like it got an emotion, especially like specifically when you're like, I felt sad about it. It's like it got an emotion out of you for one episode that they show up in, because you see just them and them growing old together. So, yeah, great fucking show. Can't wait to episode 4. Also, another thing I want to give praise on, I've only seen Bella Ramsey in like, I think that one thing of Game of Thrones, and I knew her from nothing else. I like her portrayal as Ellie. It is faithful. It is actually genuinely faithful. I don't know. Like I said, I only got to episode 3, so I don't know if like it changes. Like
no,
Ellie...
I've only seen episode 4, so it's a whole one episode difference, you know.
Yeah. But I like her portrayal because she's like, it is Ellie.
I think she's good. It's different though. There is a difference. There's a clear difference, and it's the same thing with Joel being. Although I thought I wasn't gonna like Pedro Pascal as Joel. I really just like, for some reason I couldn't see him playing it, and I know it's literally, there's no difference between him and like a suit and tie versus him in some flannel. It's the same person, the same look, same everything, but like for some reason, like just seeing that first episode, I was instantly just like, this is fucking Joel. Yeah, this is a good fucking Joel, man.
I mean, Pedro Pascal is just a good actor. Like, he's genuinely a very good actor. But yeah, it's just like, I was just surprised. That was also my thing as well. It's just like, Pedro Pascal is Joel? I mean, I'm like, that's cool, but I'm like, really? Because I was making the comparisons with The Mandalorian, where it's just like, oh, he just has to take this child thing to point A to point B. And I'm like, he's kind of doing the same thing. But then like, no, it's like,
oh yeah.
It's like, no, he's doing a big difference. You might as well just give Ellie big green ears, and there you go.
I hate you for saying that, because I didn't even make that connection until you just said that. Right?
You're welcome. You're welcome. Eventually, Joel will say, "This is the way."
If he if he says this is the way in the fucking show, I'll definitely turn it off and give it a fucking week before I turn it back on.
Okay, good. But I mean, I do like their portrayals, because obviously it is still faithful to the game, because that's how Joel and Ellie start, is that they're reluctant. Like, Joel is reluctant to do this thing, but he still has to carry on because he made a promise to Tess. And then and then Ellie is like, well, you're a weird old man, and like, you don't want to talk to me, obviously, but I'll try to keep talking to you to get something out of you. You know, even if you're gonna be a dick to me, I'm gonna be a dick to you because that's how this works. Yeah, and like I'm very excited to see like where it goes. I'm I'm anticipating the whole thing with David. If you don't know the David thing, I recommend you play The Last of Us again. And
Oh, you're talking about
the restaurant
sequence.
sequence,
Oh my
yeah.
god, dude! So my brother's really into the show. He was really into it before I started watching it, and he was like, "Are you gonna watch it?" And I told, I think I even told you maybe 2 episodes ago or some shit that like I am disinterested in it. I don't think it's gonna be good.
You're like, this is not the
and
way.
yeah, yeah. And my brother's like, "Oh, it's so good, so good." So I watched it, and I was like, "Hey, man, I need to give you a heads up. There's gonna be some shit you're not gonna like." Because he's one of those people that like, to me, like, if it's part of the story and it like adds to it, then that's good.
Yeah.
But if it's like just out of left field, not necessary, then why would you even add that, right? So I told him what was gonna happen. Not like to a T, but like the gist, and he was just like, "Oh, okay, thanks for telling me." And I was like, "All right,
okay." You should tell him to watch.
You might not like it.
you should tell him he's watch Made in Abyss.
Okay.
Okay.
He would probably like that. He loves anime, so
he loves anime, but I don't think he would love episode fucking 13 of Made in Abyss or episode 10.
And not if it's like a fucking gangbang of violence.
It's not really violence. It's just like more tragic, messed up shit that can happen to a human being, to a little anime human being.
Why? Why is this? Why?
I think that's the appeal of
How do I hit the skip button?
I think that's the thing about Made in Abyss. I think that's partially the appeal is that like I said, the art style is very deceiving. And then it just does the fucking like, what the fuck am I watching? Literally, episode 1 of season 2. I was not expecting what the fuck they were doing for that opening because they were introducing a new character, and it's like, here's this new character's background story, and I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Why did you do this? But it adds more to that character's character. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's horrible that they did it, but it's understandable in a sense, you know, as fucked up as it seems. But yeah, Made in Abyss, pretty good. Watch the first season on Amazon Prime. Get back to me.
I'll probably go look at it and then tell you how terrible you are of a human being for
Yeah.
watching it.
And then you're like, how dare you? Disgusting.
How dare you? This is a great show.
This is so good. I'm glad you told me about this, but how dare you?
Oh, God, these curses are so cool, man, except for that one part.
Yeah. Oh, God, fucking episode 13.
Except for when they got cursed by the evil foot monster from Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I kind of remember that, sort of.
The weird, like, old fat guy that, like, apparently loves people's feet.
Oh, Dan Schneider?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know his name, honestly.
Foot monster, man.
Well, because I had, like, I don't know, every once in a while it pops up on YouTube or someone's like, Dan Schneider's a piece of shit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll rewatch this.
Yeah. Remember what happened to iCarly? And it's like, no, I don't remember. Dan Schneider loves feet. And it's like, okay, now I remember. Now I remember. But yeah, I think to The Last of Us, fucking really good show. And yeah, as for like TV and movies, that's basically what I watched. And then yeah, I like I mentioned before with my new TV, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once again. Still a fantastic movie. I still recommend it. As for video games, I think the biggest thing that I can say is that I beat Diablo 2.
Congratulations.
I did it. I beat.
How does it truly feel to become Bale?
My balls hurt because Bale kept punching me in the balls so many times.
Did you finished it as an assassin, right?
I did.
What a nightmare.
It was. It fucking was, because like I was playing as assassin and I'm like, I'm like, there was a lot of hits I wasn't connecting, and I'm like, did I fuck up? Did I fuck up at a point? But like the Assassin's Kit is kind of interesting because the amount of stuff that you can do. But overall, it got to a point where like I think that's why I kept putting it down was just like I kept getting fucking murked as the assassin. Um, but then yeah, it just got to a point of just like getting new gear and leveling up, obviously. Um, but that Bale fight was just like what the fuck. Like I was being bombarded by a bunch of shit. I think he clones himself as well, so I was like, that was a thing that kind of like got to me a little bit. But I fucking like got through it, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think I'm playing the assassin ever again. Time to move on to Necromancer. But overall tone of that game, it's really fucking good. I really like the dark shit. Gameplay wise on controller, it's a little clunky because of the healing stuff. But I think that's the only way they were able to translate it to controller was that like you have to set all your potions and shit, but like the way you use them on controller is that it's the directional pads. Um and like they tried, obviously. They tried a lot, but obviously, I mean Diablo 3 is more modern and more intuitive because it's just like the circle button, and that's it. Um And yeah, it's like it's a very good game. I'm probably gonna replay it, but once Diablo 4 comes out, if it's good, I'll probably stick to Diablo 4. Um yeah, Diablo 2 done donezo. Oh, one of the things I forgot to mention last week was that there was the company behind SteamWorld Dig was unveiling their new game called SteamWorld. Oh, fuck, what was it? SteamWorld. City. What the fuck was it called? SteamWorld. Oh, SteamWorld Build, which was a city building game. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I'm not really a huge fan of the SteamWorld games because I played a little bit of the first game. That was also part of my week last week. Was that I played a little bit of SteamWorld Dig. But SteamWorld Build is a city building game, and I was enjoying it. I think I mentioned I might have played a little bit of Halo Wars in the last podcast because RTSs are my new thing now. I didn't get too far. RTSs are meth, and I think that also kind of added to me being a little bit obsessed with world building with city builders. I was like, I kind of like the whole thing. And SteamWorld Build does this interesting thing where it's like you have two different camera perspectives of like building your city and then going into the tunnels and digging to find more materials and stuff like that while also trying to maintain your city above. I was enjoying that. So I remember that I actually purchased a city building game. A city building game by the name of Frostpunk.
Oh yeah.
That game is tough, bro. that game that game is tough and it can be unforgiving. And I was only playing it on normal. Frostpunk is a very, very good city builder, but it's one of those experiences where I have to say that it kind of is. You gotta read. You gotta fucking read and then also do a little bit of research afterwards to figure out why the fuck your city didn't go the way you thought it would. Because there was a lot of like learning moments where I'm like, oh, people are getting sick really fast and they're getting severely sick. Why is that happening? Oh, I forgot to turn on the heater in their area. And then there was also like other instances where it's like you run out of supplies in your little like whole area where your city is, so you got to go explore. But the problem is that you need to get more materials and things like that, so you have to explore more and like your little whole area where your city is. So basically the premise of Frostpunk is it's in like Ice Age apocalypse, and essentially you find a giant generator that you just build a city from, and you have to survive. That is the whole thing. And then the game starts throwing things at you that it's like, the perfect example of this is like, there's a rebellion that's about to start. If you don't make people happy, people are going to start like to get really pissed, and probably you're going to be thrown out of the city. Essentially being like kicked out of the city is like the game over. And then you have a choice of either like restarting from your last save, or starting a new city itself. So I've made so many cities, and so many of them have failed.
Oh no.
It's tough. It could be really tough, because you really need to be prepared for what you have to do, because it's the balancing act of getting a lot of materials but distributing it to different areas efficiently, and then having enough people to go to different jobs or to do different things, to do different labor things, while also trying to keep them fed, and also trying to not let them get sick. So it's like you really have to make sure that like everybody's good. And then like eventually to a point you get that whole thing of like people starting a rebellion, and then the game has this like little thing where it gives you options of like how you want to counteract certain things, or what the game does is it's called essentially making laws. So this game really tries to like push on like what it is to be a leader, especially a leader during a like Ice Age frozen hell apocalypse. Of like, I think the perfect example of this is like, you need more workers. Your choice is either make the children work, or let them not work in labor intensive jobs. So it really depends on you. If you want child workers, or you want them to help out like other like jobs that are meaningful as well. And then once that whole thing with the rebellion happens, you have another choice that pops up. Either you can go a religious route, or an authoritative route, authoritarian, I should say, where you give the people in the religious side, you give the people a reason to keep hoping that there's a better tomorrow by giving them religion, or you go the authoritarian route, which is like, let guards do patrols and then build a prison, and that whole thing of like, what do you do in that situation? And that's what I really like about Frostpunk, where it's just like, there's a lot of options and you have to commit to them. And it just depends. It's like if it's gonna work. Another one was like, you gotta build a cemetery, bro. Cause like if you don't build a cemetery, body piles is just gonna keep happening, and people are gonna get sick, and morale is gonna like go down because people are just walking by bodies. It's fun. It's a very fun city builder. I have no idea whether or not I'm gonna get to the end, because there is an end game, and then there is a like endless mode that you can do as well. But yeah, Frostpunk, pretty fun. Pretty fun.
That sounds pretty cool. I don't know if I could particularly get into it.
I was so, dude, I got so addicted to it because I didn't even realize that like I hadn't worked. Like the day I started playing it, I was like, okay, I got work the next day. And then by the time I was like, all right, I failed, but I want to make a new city. And then I failed. And I'm like, I'm going to make a new city. And then I failed. And I'm like, okay, I can probably start a new city. By the time I realized what time it was already like 4 a.m. And I was like, I got work in like 3 hours. But it can be very like, it can be very addicting. Because it's just like, okay, what did I do wrong? What can I fix? Where can this go? It's like, it's all those like what ifs. Yeah, I have an appreciation for city builders. Just like RTSs. Still got to get back into Halo Wars. I didn't get that far into it, but Halo. I'm trying to think. What else did I play? Oh, for some reason on a whim, I decided to replay the first BioShock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You beat it?
I beat it. Yeah, like last
Wow.
night.
How long did it take you?
I mean, it's been like a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you like one dated. I was like,
Oh no, I'm not that crazy because it got to a point where I was just like,
Are you wearing a Metallica shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it from one of the jobs that I was on because this lady was like, "Oh, my son doesn't live here with us anymore. He has his shirts here though. You guys want it?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? I need some work shirts."
That's a nice shirt. I like Metallica.
Thanks, man. It's part of the Yankee edition.
What?
Yeah, there's like a Yankee. Yeah, you can kind of see it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently Metallica and like I think Slayer. Yeah, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Uh,
That's wild. And the
yeah,
big four says on your left or your right side.
the big four or the big eight. I forget who the fuck are the other bands. But yeah, it was essentially like a promotion because I think those bands were playing at Yankee Stadium at a point. But because I was seeing how much this shirt can go for, but now this shirt has a fucking rip, so there's a bit of a rip. You can't see it. Oh no, there you go. Kind of see it. So it lost its value. So now I just use it as a work shirt. So what else have I been playing? The last thing that I beat for stream was the Dead Space remake. I guess to TLDR it, it's a very good remake. That's it. Excuse me. Very good remake.
What's a good remake?
Yeah, that's right. I know you were listening, bruh.
I thought you said Dead Space, right?
Yeah, Dead Space.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, see, you were listening.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So, because I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm really fucking excited to play it, and it looks so good.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying is just like to basically like shorten my whole review of it is that like it's very good. It is very good. I'm glad they actually make Isaac talk in this one. It is very worth it. And yeah, it's just fun. It's just genuinely really fun. I like the little changes that they did. And like I'm going through it again right now, just on the hard difficulty, just to like I'm doing like a plasma cutter run currently. And that was the thing is that like this game, like in between, I think I mentioned it before, was that like in between this game, I went back to the original because I also want to do like the plasma cutter run as well in the old game. But also try to get like the rest of the trophies from the first game as well. But this remake is one of those things where it's like Resident Evil 2 remake where it's like you can just enjoy it the way it is. And you don't really have to go back to the original and like if you want to. I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna be here and be like old game's bad. Because it's not. The original game has its place because obviously it was one of those big fucking titles from EA where they were doing something different. That and like Mirror's Edge, or like it was like the era of them doing something different with their properties. But yeah, I highly recommend it. The PC version I think I mentioned last podcast was I think because I was in the middle of playing it. It's a little rough because there's some stuttering that happens, some performance dips. But they haven't patched it yet, so I have no idea. And then what else? Dead Space remake. I think that's basically it for what I played. Oh yeah, BioShock. Like I said, BioShock still holds up. Still a pretty good game. I've been watching like lore videos on BioShock as well, which is kind of funny. But yeah, BioShock is still pretty good. And
Get over there, kid.
yeah, I don't know, because I'm trying to remember what the fuck else I did. Yeah, I think that's basically what I played. Yeah, BioShock. Nothing really new. And it's funny too, because we're in a month that like a Dragon Ishin just came out. Atomic Heart is also out. I heard Atomic Heart is pretty all right from what I've heard. Yeah, but like I don't want to jump into Yakuza. It's not even Yakuza anymore. It's Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon Ishin. I don't want to step into it just yet because I do want to play Lost Judgment before I step into that. And the monster hunting game Wild Hearts also came out.
I don't know anything about that.
It's more of a really anime, almost Fortnite-ish Monster Hunter game. You like Fortnite, right? Yeah, okay. It looks interesting, but apparently on PC it has a lot of performance issues. Console kind of looks a little, but some people are saying it's pretty fun. Oh yeah, and before I stopped streaming for a little bit, I played a little bit of Hi-Fi Rush. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I haven't got. I only got into like the first level. Oh, I only beat the first level, I should say. I didn't get too far into it, but I keep hearing that like the further you get into the game, the better it gets and it starts to open up a little bit more. But it made me realize when I was playing that game, because that game is like rhythm and timing based, that I'm really bad with timing. So I might like change the setting where I can actually see like a time, like a little beat thing that acts as like a visual helper. But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is pretty good, but I haven't gotten too far in it. Anything else? What the fuck did I play on my Switch? Did I play anything on my Switch? No. Switch, PS5, no. Yeah, because I've been just like.
You didn't even play Pokemon Go?
I haven't even played Pokemon Go. I didn't even Pokemon Go to Pokemon Go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's basically it for me. If there's anything else, I'm still in the middle of reading the trilogy, the Sin War book. I only got to like chapter 5, so I'm not that far into it, but that's pretty okay. Anything else I've been watching or doing? Fuck, man, it's been like 2 weeks and like I really haven't like done that much. Besides obviously fixing my room and shit. Yeah, that's it. So that's it for our weeks. Do you want to get into the news, because obviously there's really not that much.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's get into the news.
All right. That's all the news. Crazy.
Oh my god, we did it. All right, bye everyone. So the first thing in the news thing is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, This Is the Way. It has been delayed to April 28th. I believe this game was supposed to come out in March. But there's a lot of shit coming out in March. I would understand as to why they would put it off to April. But I think in their let's see. No. Okay, so EA and Respawn's message that they put out on their social media basically says that they want to make sure that this game is fully polished. So that's their point. But I think there's also a little thing where there's some people speculating that it's because there's a lot of like big games coming out in March. For all I know, in March is fucking Resident Evil 4 remake. That's the only thing that I'm excited for in March.
Yeah, and the Diablo 4.
Oh, yeah, the beta. Yeah, there's that. Yeah,
I'm just excited for that one too.
But the other thing is that like I think there was a whole thing with the first game where it was kind of a buggy mess on PC. for a good bit. But they patched it as much as they did, because like as far as I remember, there was some bugs that happened when I played the game. But I don't remember how far from release I played that game from. But still, Jedi Survivor, still looking pretty good. I really do like that first game. I'm probably gonna replay through that first game, just to get the whole gist down.
Oh, dude, I never even beat it.
Did you enjoy it from what you played?
It's hard. It was enjoyable, but it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people made the comparison to it being like a Dark Souls game, which is kind of true, but it's also like kind of Metroid-y.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed my experience. I forget. I think I played that on Jedi Master difficulty, and that shit, like the end boss was like really kicking my ass. But overall, fun game. I still recommend it. I still would say you should try it out or finish it. It's still pretty fun.
Of course. Yeah, I really do want to. It's just like things like Destiny, man, just end up being like the thing that I end up falling back into. That and League of Legends and Destiny are the two things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a toxic, horrible person. What do you want?
The two sirens of video games keep calling to you.
Yeah, they ruined my fucking life. Great, wonderful.
Yeah. So yeah. Jedi Survivor being delayed. But you know what else got delayed? Well, no, not really. Well, yeah. You know what else got delayed? The fucking Grammy for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Dude, that shit was so funny.
Oh my god, the pronunciation was wild. The guy could not say Valhalla. That is hilarious. It is so goofy. Oh my god. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Valhalla got a Grammy, which congrats, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, that's also another thing I want to mention. I know you said that like the Valhalla has like weird audio mixing, right?
Yeah, not just that though. It's like 4 of them.
Okay, so I've been running through this thing of like the BioShock thing, because I'm playing on PS5 and it's the PS4 version, like that HD remaster. It has some weird audio mixing at times. It's really bizarre.
No.
Yeah, it was just really weird, but yeah, just speaking of audio mixing. I mean, besides I guess voice acting mixing, I guess the music was good. So congrats, Ubisoft. The one thing I want to kind of like pop in here is that Street Fighter 6 for the Capcom Pro Tour has a prize pool of $1 million.
Nice.
So good luck to those that want to be a millionaire for Street Fighter 6. Good luck, you weirdos. Anyways, I'll be playing some Street Fighter 6. Anyways, I will be playing as Ryu.
On my way for some street fights.
I'm going to fight all these streets. So yeah,
that street did not have a chance.
Capcom has done their thingy. They're doing their Pro Tour. I think it's this year. Yeah, this year. Evo also like announced like their main games. Obviously, it's like the big things, but Street Fighter 6 is like the top one.
Yeah, Pokemon Go 2.
Yeah, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. You know, the big hitters.
Such good fighting games.
The big hitters. Sifu is one of them as well.
Big hitters. Wait, is Sifu really on there?
What?
Sifu's in that bitch?
No.
Okay.
What are you, crazy?
But they're gonna do a speed run, man.
Yeah, dude. Sifu, what's a fighting game? Who would put that as a nomination for a fighting game thing at the Game Awards?
Me.
Anyways, so yeah, just another thing. Evo 2020, 2023 lineup is Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Tekken 7, King of Fighters 15, Melty Blood Type Lumina, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's Marvel, baby. Not even Marvel Infinite. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But, yeah. Evo looking pretty good. I'm very excited for Street Fighter 6 because that beta was pretty fun from when I played. Even though I'm not a huge Street Fighter head, I'm an appreciator of the street fighting. So yeah, and then the biggest thing that happened a week back was the Nintendo Direct. There is a Sony State of Play that's happening, I believe, Thursday, but it's gonna be like 15 minutes, and it's gonna show some PSVR 2 games. Oh, that's also another thing I forgot to mention. PSVR 2 has released. So whoever has it, enjoy your VRing or your Lady D, I don't know, viewing, whatever the fuck. And yeah, basically that State of Play is gonna have some gameplay of the Justice League, of the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, that game. So mark your calendars if you're excited for that. But anyways, this Nintendo Direct, some big heavy hitters. Fuck what you know. Forget about Suicide Squad. People love Pikmin 4. So Pikmin 4 is coming out. You like Pikmin, right?
No.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, this little trailer for Pikmin 4 looks adorable. I played a little bit of that I played that Pikmin 3 demo. I bought Pikmin 3. But I haven't fully played it yet. I enjoyed it. It's like a weird pseudo RTS game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they introduced Doggo. So you got a Doggo little character. He's very adorable, but he has no snooter. So it's a little weird. But yeah, Pikmin 4 looks fun. We'll probably play some Pikmin 3 eventually. And then that's releasing the 21st of July, which is pretty soon. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I had clam chowder earlier.
What a specific thing.
Why clam chowder?
No, it's just like really specific. You were like, oh, clam chowder.
Yeah.
Wait,
coming back with them clams.
maybe you were having beet juice again, bro.
Oh god, don't remind me. My fucking nightmares. So they also revealed the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass, volume 3, that's coming out that actually just came out like a couple days back. And then they teased for volume 4, which is basically a lead up with all 3 characters from the Xenoblade games. Shulk was there, older Rex was there. They look cool, and they're fighting Alvis, whose name I forgot during that Nintendo Direct because I was like, is his name Alvin or is it Alvis? And I was like, I don't remember because it's been too long. But yeah, they teased out a new story thing for Xenoblade 3, and I'm so happy to see Shulk and an older Rex that looks cool. Because Rex and his dumb pants were always so stupid in Xenoblade 2. But anyways, after that, they showed Samba de Amigo Party Central. So if you're a huge Samba de Amigo fan, there you go. It should be coming out in summer 2023. Then after that, they showed Fashion Dreamer. Create your fashion. Be an influencer of fashion on your Switch. Get excited for that, I guess. And then Dead Cells showed a little bit more of their Return to Castlevania DLC, which is releasing the 6th of March. And it looks neat. Looks very neat. Didn't really get into Dead Cells? Yeah, Dead Cells. Didn't really get into it, but maybe eventually. Then after that, Tron Identity, which is an adventure game based in the Tron universe. Looks like a little detective game. And that's releasing the 11th of April. After that, a Switch release for Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is coming out for the Switch.
More detective work.
More detectiving. This has been the year of the detective. I don't know. Oh yeah, because like we have this Tron thing that's like a detective thing, and then fucking Ghost Trick, and then after that, this fucking game called Deca Police. It was fucking wild. But anyways, Ghost Trick was a DS game, but now it's coming to the Switch. So good luck with that. And then Deca Police, this fucking thing came out of nowhere, which is done by Level 5. If you don't know Level 5 did Ni no Kuni. They did the Professor Layton games. But this game looks pretty cool because it's like an RPG that was giving, like, the music was giving me like that jazzy vibe from, this is very specific, from Kamen Rider Double, because Kamen Rider Double did like this like kind of jazzy thing, but also you're a detective. Anyways,
I'm listening to it right now.
Yeah. Deca Police looks kind of cool. And that's releasing this year, whenever the fuck that happens. And then they showed a little bit more of the Bayonetta Origins game, which
Cute.
It's cute, but I still have not played Bayonetta 3. I'm still very curious on with that game, even though people are like,
yeah, you're like I can't support this woman.
Yeah, I can't support Bayonetta, and then the voice actress for Bayonetta came out to be a liar, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna support Bayonetta. Anyways. Splatoon 3 DLC happening, even though I haven't played Splatoon. Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass out now, so get hyped for that Fire Emblem. This this indie game by the name of Harmony: The Fall of Reverie was also shown, which seems like an adventure game. I don't remember if there was any more gameplay of it. But that's releasing in June. And then after that, a little thing of Disney Illusion Island with Mickey and Friends is this little platforming game with the art style of that, like, Mickey shorts. I don't know if you ever saw that. Yeah, so that's releasing the 28th of July. And they finally confirmed that Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp is coming out the 21st of April.
It's probably my favorite thing that's happening.
So do you remember that this was being delayed?
No.
So this got delayed a lot because of what was happening in the Ukraine. So they didn't want to release this, and I think it's just gotten to a point where they're like, well, fuck it, might as well release it. But still, I've not played any of the Advance War games, but they look fun. And then after that, they showed Octopath Traveler 2 releasing in actually 3 days. I just realized that too. I have not played.
Well, this was already revealed a long time ago.
Yeah, this would be, but they showed just like the I think stuff, yeah, they showed new stuff, and they also revealed that a demo was coming out that same direct day.
Oh, okay.
So anybody on Switch could download the demo. I haven't played Octopath 1. I have it on PC, but I just haven't started it up.
You should try it.
I should. I really should. And after that, they showed We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, which I believe is a remaster of a Katamari game on PS2, I think, or Wii. I don't remember.
I have no idea about the Katamari games.
Katamari is just, you just roll shit in and you just make it.
No, I know what they are.
Okay.
I just have never. I've actually never sat down and played one.
You should.
I will stand up when I play them.
Anyways, this is coming out the second. This is coming out the 2nd of July. After that, there's a little game that I was surprised about, which is called Sea of Stars, which looks really neat. And there was a demo that came out for it, which I haven't tried out. I still got to try it out. But it's like, according to its like little title thing, a retro-inspired turn-based RPG. Which, if you look at that demo, it's very well made. Like, it is, well, not demo. If you look at that like trailer, it looks very well made. And then they have this game. Well, but that game, Sea of Stars, is coming on the 29th of August this year. And then they showed a game called Omega Strike, which is if you ever played the game Windjammers or Disc Jam, that's what it is, but it's more players. That is releasing the 27th of April. The art looks very appealing. Anime. And then after that, I got really excited, but then my hype also died literally in the same day for Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. This game's gonna be $80 for 3 games that came out on the 3DS that's coming to Switch. my hype for it died. So I'm like, I'll keep playing it on my 3DS because I basically have all of them on my 3DS, I think.
Yeah.
But it's kind of unfortunate because it's like, oh, cool, Etrian Odyssey, because the fucking shit with the eShop shutting down for the 3DS was like the biggest thing as to why I purchased those games on my 3DS. But to see, I guess, the first 3 games come out to Switch is cool. But for $80, I don't know. That's a little rough for an asking price. But yeah, that's releasing on the 1st of June. After that, they showed a Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe little trailer for Magalore Epilogue, which is coming out the 24th of February. So 3 more days. And yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of Kerbal.
What?
I haven't played a Kirby game. I have Forgotten. What is it? Forgotten
You've
World?
never played a Kirby game?
I have not played a Kirby game.
I
I know, it's my biggest sin. There's a bunch of games I have not played.
I love Kirby, dude.
I have not played it.
Dude, bro.
I have not played a Spyro game. I have not played a Kirby game. I have not played what's another thing that people like? Name something.
Dexter.
No, I have played that.
Call of Duty.
I have played that.
Destiny 2.
I have not played that. Okay. Well,
Diablo 2.
never mind. I played that. I played that. Yeah.
Diablo 1.
I have not played that. Well, I played that, but I did
Diablo
finish
3.
it. I did play that.
Alright.
Hangman. What's a childhood game?
Hangman.
Yeah, I played that.
Scrabble.
Yes.
Connect 4.
Yes. I think my childhood is actually in check. Now that I think about it. But no, there's some video games I just have not played, but a Kirby game I have not played. I played the demo for that new one that came out, Forgotten World, I think it's called. I actually have it, but I haven't played it. And people say it's good, so I have yet to try it out.
Yeah, Sonic Frontier is pretty cool, man.
Oh yeah, that's one of the greatest Kirby games. So after that, they announced that Nintendo Switch Online will have Game Boy games, specifically the original Game Boy. And then if you have that, what is it? That booster pack thing? What the fuck is it called? The power pack, whatever that shit's called, where it's like a pay additional for this online service. You get Game Boy Advance games. So they showed off. Yeah, they showed off some of the Game Boy Advance games. I think it was Fire Emblem. Golden Sun was also in there. I know people talk a lot of good things about Golden Sun, which is
what's kind of insane. I'm excited for this mostly because of original Tetris, and that might sound really dumb, but the only Tetris they have on Switch that I had saw, I'm sure you could probably buy like a regular Tetris or something, but I don't want to really pay for one. But the only other Tetris you can play that I know of on Switch is to like play against 90 other players, and I've been like really wanting to just play solid like 1v1 like my own Tetris, you know?
Okay, yeah, because like I'm trying to think, didn't they have? Isn't Tetris Connect like on Switch?
Yeah, isn't that the one where you play against like 100 people?
Connect? No, that's Tetris 99.
Okay.
Tetris Connected Switch. Yeah, I think that's on there. Because Tetris, it's Tetris Effect, which is the one that came out with like the really good music and like the crazy like visuals and shit. I don't know if you ever seen it. I bought it on like PS4, and it's like it's really good music. Like if you really like good music, it's really really good because it's one of those like experiences where like every time you move like the tetramino, like it does this whole thing where like the beat goes with like the movement and shit. The beat. But then there's also Puyo Puyo Tetris. So if you Puyo Puyo is it's a Japanese game where it's like bubble. It's not bubble popper, but like it's like you have these two little bubble things, and like it's almost like Tetris, but like you have to match the bubbles with their colors. But that's essentially the point of Puyo Puyo Tetris, is that it's basically You can do like 1v1 or like 4-player Tetris and shit, where you can either choose to play Tetris or Puyo Puyo, and you just go head to head with other people. It's kind of neat if you look at it. But anyways, yeah. Game Boy games. And then after that, the biggest surprise for people. Well, actually, that's not the biggest surprise because the other fucking thing is the biggest surprise. One of the surprises is Metroid Prime Remastered, also released in the same day. So I bought the physical version. That shit is coming out a month later, so I'm gonna have to wait for that. But you can buy the digital version now, so that's really neat. The actual fucking like surprise was this fucking game called Baten Kaitos, or Kaitos, excuse me. Which is a card. It's an RPG. It's turn-based RPG, but with a card battle. Very bizarre. But this game was like super weird and niche that I was not expecting this fucking thing to actually have an HD remaster. So it's the first 2 games. Well, it's the only.
Heard of it?
It's the only 2 games. But this game came out on GameCube, so I guess yeah, it lived and died in the GameCube. So that's coming out in the summer, and then after that, there's this little Animal Crossing like game. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. I kind of tried to get back into Animal Crossing, and I don't know. I don't know about Animal Crossing. But anyways, this little game called Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Steals Time, looks like a little Animal Crossing game, but like with a little something more. And then after that, well, actually, that Fantasy Life game is releasing this year. Another game that's releasing this year is the new Professor Layton game, and the New World of Steam. So if you like Professor Layton, which I don't know if I do because
No, I don't like it.
okay. It's just
Personally, it's just not fun to me.
yeah. I mean, it really depends if you really like puzzle games.
Yeah.
But yeah, Professor Layton is back, and then after that, you know who else is back? Yoshi's Island for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So get your fucking whatever the fuck. See what else. There was also a thing for that baseball game. What the fuck is it called? Power Pros. So if you like little arcadey baseball game, there you go. Yeah, Power Pros. And then yeah, the last thing was a little bit more for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Which led into the biggest surprise ever. This game on release is going to be $70. So Nintendo pulled the trigger on making their games $70 like everybody else. I don't know how to feel about this. What are your opinions on $70 games?
As far as Tears of Kingdom?
Well,
or overall?
Overall.
I mean, we're here.
We're here.
What are you going to do about it, you know?
Yeah, we're going to not buy these games. That's what we can do about it.
I personally will never buy a game until it's on sale.
Same. If I'm like really anticipating it, then maybe I might bite the bullet.
Oh, so like Diablo will be the one that I'll buy every time, unless it becomes like a bad franchise. No.
Yeah.
Or if their company keeps becoming horrible people.
Yeah,
which
that
seems like that's inevitable. But like newer, like Zelda, I would buy. I'm just gonna be real. $70, I'd buy it straight out the gate.
Yeah.
But like, let's say like Jonathan Lang and his amazing orangutan was a game, right? And like,
okay.
And they were like $70 price tag. I'd be like, cool. When it's 40, let me know. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like that as well. But like I say, it just really depends on like the thing I'm anticipating for, because I don't remember how much the Resident Evil 4 remake is gonna be, but I'm buying that fucking day one, obviously, because I'm a bitch for that game.
I know.
Yeah, you know. But this is the thing. This has become the greatest debate of all time because of the fact that like this thing is releasing on Switch, and the Switch hardware has not changed. Obviously, the stuff that's been costing $70 is for the new gen consoles, but the Switch has existed since what, 2015?
Oh, what?
It's been more than 5 years, right, for the Switch.
2017, March 3rd,
When?
2017.
Oh, 2017. So yeah, okay. So yeah, not technically. Well, yeah, 6 years.
More than 5 years at this point.
It's 6 years. 6 years.
E-
So that's the thing is that like I said, this has become the biggest debate on Twitter of like, should a game for a console that is already past, that's already stuck like a generation behind, be charging $70 for a new game? But I mean, and it's also becoming another problem of like people be like, oh, just wait for a sale, and it's like Nintendo games sell like on sale for like $40. Like fucking Breath of the Wild was on sale for like $40 for the last like 6 years. So it's like what can you even do with that? I mean, like, look, I'm very excited for this game. I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom, which, by the way, is coming out the 12th of this year, which I'm surprised is actually coming out this year. But I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that's just like, I don't know if I want to spend $70 for a game that might run okay-ish. Because they're putting
honestly, just wait.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for reviews. I'm gonna see how this game performs. Obviously, I'm gonna wait for the fucking Digital Foundry shit to see what their analysis is on this game, because it's like they're putting a lot into this game. They're putting a lot because obviously you're doing like air traversing and then like fucking what is it called? Like diving into the world, and who knows, maybe this game might chug like shit, but yeah, I mean, good luck to Nintendo. Just fucking spend that $70.
That's why I like to see Nintendo and Xbox hanging out so much and talking about what they're doing together, because I have a lot of hope that one day, and I think that these two companies are the ones that would do it, is if they ended up linking together. I think Nintendo is way more of a software company than a hardware company, and I look at Xbox as more of a hardware company than a software company.
Oh yeah.
So it would be how cool, and I know this is just like a dream right now, but like how cool would it be to see Zelda in fucking
an Xbox
4K? Well, no, just in 4K, dude. Like,
yeah, okay.
That would be insane.
that either like Zelda on an Xbox or Zelda or Link playing an Xbox.
So he would be on an Xbox if they linked in the scenario I'm thinking of, like if essentially like one got bought out by the other, which it would definitely be Nintendo getting bought out. Let's just be real.
So that was the thing that I forgot about as well, that I think Xbox actually came out with a tweet saying that they reached an agreement with Nintendo about Call of Duty specifically.
Not just that though, they said they're bringing Xbox games. They generalized it, and they added Call of Duty in there because they were saying like Call of Duty is coming to Nintendo. They want people to know that.
I have to see this tweet because like I don't remember what it said verbatim, but
there's a whole article about it.
Yeah, I kind of have to read that a little bit more because I can't say Master Chief coming to Nintendo. I can't say that. I can't be one of those hype guys that's like Resistance 3 on PS5. No. Stop. Hold on. I can find it. Hold on. Keep talking. Say something.
Things that have happened recently. Did you talk about Natsmon? Did you say that one yet or no?
No.
Okay, so another game that's coming out, Natsmon 20th Century Summer Vacation. That's coming out summer 2023, and it says Japan next to it, but it looks cool. I would like to play it too. Japan, please.
Oh, I think it's just Japan only. That sucks.
Great, I'll buy a Japanese Switch. Whatever.
Based on Boku no Natsuyumi's series creator of Millennium Kitchen. Cool. I don't think I've seen this. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the trailer for this. Hold on. Fucking goddamn it, Twitter.
God, Pikmin sucks, bro. Who wants to play this game ever?
But it's so cute. You see doggo.
Great.
Cool.
My friend used to play these games, and I would watch him play this shit, and I'm just like, how the fuck are you enjoying this dumb fucking game?
You talk about Pikmin?
Yes.
Damn, son. True hate for Pikmin.
I really don't like it.
Yeah,
I just don't get how people are like, it's so cool, man. Look.
I think it's one of those games where it's like
recording.
you have to play. That's basically it.
Oh.
All right. Well, I don't really see anything about Microsoft bringing any Xbox games to Nintendo, but it's just basically a binding 10-year legal agreement to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo players.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've been seeing, but like really nothing that's saying Marcus Phoenix punching Mario or Link driving a Forza car, some shit like that. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the week. Nothing else happened. All right, bye. Yeah, there's probably a couple things that I missed out on because, like I said, I was too lazy to get more articles. But still, right. We got the biggest one out, the Nintendo Direct, because that's pretty much the biggest one. But yeah, any plans you have until we see each other again?
I'll watch a bunch of shit.
All
I'm
right.
literally gonna go make food right now. I'm so fucking hungry.
That's fair enough. I'm going to. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. All right.
Oh, do you wanna? We should play some games. We talked about it last time. I don't know what game. I think Rock something or whatever.
Oh, Deep Rock Galactic. Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't mentioned we played Back for Blood for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right. Yeah, we should play. We should play the
yeah.
Deep Rock Galactic.
When do you know when you're free?
I should be free like Friday evening.
As long as it's not the 28th, that sounds good.
Oh wait, no, that's wrong because I'm probably gonna go see The Last of Us with my cousin at her house.
Okay.
So maybe
Yeah,
Saturday.
just message me. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whenever you got time, we'll play some Deep Rock.
Deep
I downloaded it.
Rock Galactic. Cool. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Bye, podcast.
Bye.
Bye.